Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 81. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. We show you what we're working on, what we're thinking about. We hang out for 2 hours, we drink a cold beverage, and we talk terrain and all things good geekery. I am Nate, and this is Chris. What are you smiling about, Chris? What's so funny?
I never realized just exactly how purple this room is.
Oh, it is. It's technically it's called Gentle Violet is the name of the color, but it's no. I went
gentle about that. What are you talking?
I want to be surrounded. Like, I mean, I did everything. The ceilings, the thing. Like, it is every. I can't get the camera, but it's like everything is as purple as can be. It's my happy place. Yeah.
Okay, well, you got the exposed brick there at least. Like
it's a chimney.
So...
That's a real chimney.
Yeah, nothing about it feels gentle to me. It feels like it's assaulting me.
Yeah. Well, it must run in the family because my oldest son, I told the kids they could paint their door in their room, a closet door on the inside, because I thought they might pick some crazy colors. And Hawken chose Mountain Sky, which is like a gentle, like sky blue, like a really tasteful blue. And Grayson, my oldest, chose Startling Orange, which absolutely lives up to its name. It's insane. It's like, I love it. It's an onslaught to your eyes. It's amazing. So anyway, so he's on the color wheel. He's went to the other side, but it's like he's fully in like the orangest orange you can imagine. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the awesome paint colors that I've chosen for my attic workshop. We're here to talk about our upcoming Cities Kickstarter, Cities 2, launching some point at the tail end of this year. I don't know.
Eventually.
Yes. What else are we doing tonight, Chris? What else is going on?
What else are we doing? As you said, we're going to be walking you through the latest in development. So you're freaking out about something. I'll walk you through the latest. You gotta have your dagger.
I have a spot on my tool rack with like real tools and then a foam LARP dagger because it's an important tool. Anyway, you get this workshop is a glimpse into my head. This is basically being inside my brain. You remember the show Herman's Head in the like late 80s, early 90s?
Is that the one with Eddie Murphy?
No, it was like I don't even know. It was just like some guy and there were 4 people that were in his head that were his emotions. It was Inside Out. It was the same premise as Inside Out, where it's like there's characters that are the emotions in the head.
I like to imagine that Inside Out was a sequel to Being John Malkovich.
Anyway, what are we doing tonight?
What are we doing tonight? So yeah, we're gonna walk you through. As I think he said, this show is all about showing you what goes on behind the scenes. We're pretty transparent, and also, you guys usually have good ideas, and
great.
We like running stuff by you. So tonight we're gonna be kind of going through where we're at in terms of what we've been developing for the next Kickstarter.
Hey,
where the stuff's at?
How's your audio? I feel like you might be low, and I
couldn't tell you. So far, nobody has said anything about it.
All right. I'm just pretty sure.
I was keeping my eye out. Okay, now they're saying I'm quiet.
Yeah. And
this is parent for here. Saying I'm quiet.
This is classic. Yeah, I have like just an analog cable running up to a speaker that I'm gonna trip over at some point in this broadcast. I'm gonna walk through that cable trying to get to the saw, and we're getting there. I'm working on the setup here.
All right, nobody said I was quiet until we asked, so that's why I said that. Don't get mad at me. I can't hear it.
You felt quiet in my brain here. So we're looking at our new Kickstarter. We're giving away a $50 gift certificate at the midpoint. We're gonna tell some jokes. What else is happening?
Hey Nate, Joe Commando's here.
Hey Joe, I used to LARP with Joe ages ago.
No.
Yeah, he had a band of commandos named after the awesome metal band Amon and Marth. I can't say their name right. This cool Swedish Viking, good bunch of dudes. Oh, Joe.
Perfect. Some people were saying I'm still too low. Although some people said it was better. Who knows? Give away a Kickstarter at the midpoint? Yeah, let's do an entire Kickstarter. We're giving away an all-in pledge today. There will be a giveaway at the break. It won't be for an entire Kickstarter. It'll be for a $50 gift card to the Dwarven Forge online store. It's an international giveaway. So no matter where you live, if you want some free stuff, Stick around.
I want some free stuff.
Yeah, and don't clip that joke without the context and use it to try and hold us accountable.
That we're giving away Kickstarter. Let's give away. We can give. We'll give away someone else's
We
Kickstarter.
archive all these streams, so yeah.
We'll give away Galadoria Games' Kickstarter. Our buddies at Galadoria launched a Kickstarter and then canceled it 2 days later, and they're relaunching April 12th.
Relaunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got some good looking stuff in there, but they just wanted to rethink some of the structure, I think.
Yep.
But yeah. Before that, though, we're going to go through a little bit of news, quick updates. And let's get into it.
It's the news! The news! It's the news. Uh-oh, how do we get... Okay, wait, I'm in the wrong thing. I should not be running tech on this thing. Here we go. All right, I got it, Chris. I'm on it. I'm all over it. No problems here. You must be so frustrating for you to be like trapped in a little computer box over there having to watch me fumble through the tech when you like can do it like with your eyes closed when we're in the studio.
The worst one was when I was in line at security at the airport to go home for the holidays, and it was you and Mace, and I had set up the audio and everything beforehand, and I don't know what happened, but your audio wasn't plugged in anymore. Yeah. And so she called me and
on the air
describing it to me, and I couldn't see anything. I'm in the security line. I'm like 5 people away from like having to put all my stuff in the bin, and just trying to walk through like getting your audio fixed.
We ended up just dragged a mic across the room and just like put it by the. I don't know. It worked.
That's why that's there. That's why that's there. Yeah, is as a backup.
Yeah. Turns out we need a backup.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, that's a lot of gift subs. Thank you.
Woo.
Yeah.
So what's in the news, Chris?
The news. We got 2 Kickstarters we want to talk to you about that are in some 24-hour windows here. We got, well, actually, I think Arcana just went out of theirs. Our friends at Mirrorscape, we've talked about it a couple times. They have officially launched their augmented reality tabletop builder player thing. They can explain a lot better than I can. It's their product, and they made a Kickstarter video for it.
These are facts.
Essentially, yeah, it's augmented reality so that you can... and we're going to have some of our pieces in there to start out with, as well as they've got terrain from some other people like Fat Dragon, and then they've got some Reaper minis and Hero Forge integrations that you can bring player minis from Hero Forge into it. The entire concept is, being able to like build things out on your iPad, and if you're like traveling or something, and you don't want to take all your stuff with you, or for whatever reason you cannot physically have our stuff, you can do it in augmented reality. You can put that down on your table.
Or you could
they
also
just launched. They funded. What's that?
You could pre-build, like, or you could digitally build before you physically build if you want to like mess around, or you're traveling or you're at work and you want to like kind of build, and then when you get home you can actually build it or whatever. You can also you could build the dungeon. You could play in person, build the digital dungeon, and then have people use the iPad to see the dungeon. There's going to be like a fog of war effect and stuff, so the players can only see what you've revealed to them in the thing, but they can move their iPad around and kind of see it in real time. There'll be a character view thing. They've got a bunch of really neat stuff planned, but it's it's very much like a quote unquote real Kickstarter, like versus some of these things are like a pre-order where the thing's done and they're just one thing. They have a lot of development to do, and they need some support, and they need some input, and they need some beta testers, and they need some people to put some cash in, and it's like it's going to be a cool project to sort of watch along and see how it grows.
Will they have Wildlands? They won't be starting with Wildlands. We haven't done that yet. I think we're starting with Dungeons, Caverns, and Cities. We're starting with like those 3 for now. We've got like basic sets in there, and then if it's going well, then cool, we can expand it and all that.
You know what? We gave them the Cavern swell left, whichever swell we never made. Yeah. Digitally, physically, we gave them a physical version that they could scan in, so they can have a digital piece that doesn't exist in analog, which would be kind of cool. Oh. Should be neat. Yeah.
If you want that piece, you gotta get it there. What was the process for scanning those? They did the scanning.
You know, they one on their team, Grant, 1 or 2 of the people on their team do 3D scanning they're in LA. They do Hollywood. They do special effects scanning, so they scan actors and stuff and do whatever. So this is like, he's like, man, it's so much easier. Like scanning Tom Cruise is one thing. Scanning this is like nothing. Like it just stands there.
Do you know if we'll be able to upload our own STLs in it? I honestly
No idea.
We're
ask
not
them.
involved in any. So yeah, to be clear, we're not involved in any of like the development. It was literally just like, yeah, we'll pick out some pieces that would be good for building on this. That's really all the. So there's probably a lot of stuff that you're wondering that we can't really answer just because we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Paul's saying they have some ambition for people to be able to order the things they build in game. That might include 3D printable STLs or reaching back to the supporting companies. Since we don't do a la carte, how do you all anticipate supporting that? I don't know if we've heard anything about that. Have they told us anything about that? Yeah.
They mentioned they wanted people to be able to buy a thing, but yeah, I don't know exactly how it would all work yet. They also their dream is be able to previs our Kickstarters, so people that have Arcana can, if we're doing cities, they can drop in. We can get them a special pack, and they can drop in and actually play with the pieces in AR and kind of get a sense of what they are and whatnot. But we'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we're interested to see what happens with it because like it could be for people who like don't have room for storage, or like they don't have for whatever reason, like having physical terrain just doesn't make sense. It's a way for people to get get used to our stuff.
It's just
so we're curious to see like how this grows.
It's another way to play, another way to enjoy D&D.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's the too much time siren. What's the next thing?
Next, our friends at Talon and Claw, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. They're in the last 24 hours on their Adventurer's Compendium Kickstarter, which is a very beautiful little luxury wood product. Go ahead and take a look at it.
It's cool.
It's basically lets you. It's a nice, beautiful, portable way to kind of take all the stuff that you would need as a player to your session. Starts with the dice, your mini, a little notebook, a lot of nice little stuff in it. Probably make a really good gift.
And it's it's a tiny company. They could use your support, and this is going to help them get to the next thing. They have a really cool, big project queued up for late summer or something. If this, if this goes well, which it has, I think they're at 60K or something. So it's doing well. Go check it out.
They're very comfortably funded, but this is like time to get in and get this stuff at its cheapest.
They were gonna send us something to show off, and he's turns out he got swamped in the middle of the Kickstarter.
Can't imagine that.
No.
Can't imagine that. Speaking of getting swamped in the Kickstarter, we've got incredible news regarding Wildland shipping that we just got confirmed today. The final container, which was the Oceania container for Japan, Australia, stuff like that, is on a boat and hit the water. Everything is officially on the water. There is nothing left in China.
It's amazing.
We're finally there.
I mean, nobody has it, but everything's moving. Like
Yeah.
So like folks in Japan should have stuff in 2 to 3 weeks, and I don't know exact timeline on New Zealand, Australia, UK, EU. Wow.
New Zealand and Australia should be.
Are you on fire over there? What's going on?
I wish. Did I tell you the first night I moved into this building, there was like a lot of commotion. I heard like a big a big popping noise, and I looked and there was like a transformer on fire like across the street from the house I just moved into.
Was it Optimus Prime?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he survive?
Well, they had the Everspark, so.
Okay.
Is it Everspark or Allspark?
The Allspark.
Oh well. So.
Did I?
Yeah.
So in the old days, when I was cutting TV commercials, I cut a TV commercial starring Michael Bay, and the premise was like he wants everything to be big and like do explosions, whatever. So he saw the script and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna do this thing, but if we do it, we gotta go. We gotta make it Michael Bay." So he's like, I'm bringing in a transformer. I'm bringing in a tank. I'm bringing in my explosions guy. He Michael Bay'd the commercial about him being Michael Bay, doing Michael Bay stuff, and like literally brought like Bumblebee, a 30-foot tall Bumblebee, and his explosions guy, and a tank, and an airplane, and statues, and a tiger, and like just like literally all this like stuff, and just like Michael Bay'd the thing out. It was amazing.
My favorite Michael Bay thing is when he was paid to give a little presentation and like make an appearance at a TV event. He was supposed to promote like a new line of TVs that I think Sony had coming out or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's reading off of a teleprompter, and it's like, as a filmmaker, like I need the highest fidelity, like all that stuff. And then the teleprompter stopped working, so he just trailed off in the middle of the sentence, and he's just like, and he's like stood there for like
silence.
5 seconds, and then he just turned and walked off stage. And
That's awesome.
And like that was like, and then like the guy like comes back out and really, yeah, it's great.
So anyway, so Transformer on fire.
The light puck stuff is on the water.
Yeah.
The light pucks for North America were shipped out a little bit after like the other final container. So there's 2 containers for the U.S. and Canada. Well, North America, I guess I should say. Still in the water. One of them with the last swamp stuff, and one of them with the light pucks and then the light puck specific sets, like the Nexus pack and stuff like that. Those are on the water to the U.S. For everybody else not in North America, your light pucks are already in your pledges on the containers that are going out there. The European container is still on track to land on April 10th, last we heard.
Yep.
And then it's got to go through customs and get distributed. So it's looking like at this rate, everybody should have all their stuff in May.
Well, and sooner for the folks in Japan should have their stuff in 2 weeks. There's some weird ones that ship from the U.S. South Africa, Mexico, Canada, Brazil.
Yeah, there's like a couple like
they all come from here too.
Like in the Western Hemisphere, not in North America, but like there's only like 3 orders going there, so they like put them on our container and then they go out from there.
But anyway, it should be by mid-May. Everybody should have their stuff, and we should have the rest up on the web store. And it should be wild. Woo!
Yeah.
Wild land.
Haven't got any mountain stuff here in Canada. So right now, a ton of mountain and swamp is shipping. People like because of like the accident the Madrid bridge had, it meant that 3 containers basically wound up landing around the same time, and so
when a bunch of the mountain
like massive shipments,
a bunch of the mountain stuff was in there, so we had a spurt of mountain stuff going out, and then we ran out of mountain stuff, so then that got restocked when the Madrid bridge showed up, and that's going out. But it's all moving. It's slowly and surely, 100 orders a day or whatever, chipping away.
So if you haven't gotten the shipment in a while, you should be getting one pretty soon. Like the order, my shipping notice I got on Monday, literally right when I got home from Adepticon, and then it arrived yesterday. So, like I got the shipping notice the day before.
You know what I got? You know what I got my shipping notice for is Bard Sung, the Steamforged game that's supposed to arrive, and Eli and I wrote an adventure in it. So that's
I forgot about
in
that.
there. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. The Gauntlet. It's like a grinder, a Duergar death trap, where you have to like get through all these deadly rooms where we just try and kill you. It should be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's
do we plan on having a massive amount of waterfalls available in the store and web store Wildlands Hits? I don't know the numbers on the surpluses. I haven't seen.
We'll have everything that's left over after we ship stuff to backers, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We will let you know if you're not on our mailing list. Sign up on the link that Chris is going to put up there, and he has already at hand at fingertips. But we'll let you know before the Wildlands stuff goes live. We'll try and get some collections up ahead of time, and we'll blast out some info about what's going to be there and what to look out for, and we'll try and make it as good a restock for people as it can be. Give you as much information up front as you can, so you can figure out what you want to get, if there's what you might want to target first, and yada yada. Awesome. So hopefully late May, early June, something like that. We will see, but we will let you know.
Yes. Let's see. Outside of that, I guess we can cover Reliquaries again real quick. The news of Reliquaries is that there's really not a ton of news. Everything is like going super smoothly.
We saw a bunch of expanded masters. Photos came in yesterday. Like, stuff is looking fantastic. I'm gonna put update will go out tomorrow with a bunch of photos of sort of production stuff where we're at. And basically, it's just doing whatever it is, 16 pieces or something it's just going so smoothly, as opposed to Wildlands there's 200 and something and whatever. Like it's like, I don't know. It's been almost no sweat. It's pretty awesome.
When it's 16 pieces that don't have like complicated organic geometry that need to make sure that they bustle up against each other and like are able to have bridges stuck into them and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been an incredibly uneventful production process. Like, it's just going way more smoothly than we're used to.
Yeah. The only events is like they've been getting hit with COVID over in China, so there's been some delays there.
Yeah.
But there's been delays everywhere, so but it's moving along. I think we're gonna. Yeah. I don't know. I keep saying. I feel like we want to ship early, but we'll see how it all. There's a lot that can happen.
Yeah, let's not say that we're gonna ship early until we've actually got the stuff produced.
Well, until the containers actually land, because if we learned anything, that shipping has been.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, Wildlands! We forgot the Ruins painting video is up. Ruins painting PDF is up. All the build guides except for Swamp are up. The Rangers of Shadow Deep skirmish scenario is up. Bunch of stuff on the site.
The only stuff we really still have to make is we want to make that supplementary painting PDF for all the accessories and plants. So we got that. We've got some
Light
more
puck.
written content coming. And then we might do. Hanser's been talking about wanting to do another painting video that's about like kind of jazzing it up and like adding like extra touches and stuff. So we got to figure out what that would be.
Punching up your pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Anything else in the news, or should we look at the city?
The only other thing is like Adepticon, I guess.
Oh yeah, you survived.
Yeah, I'm alive.
You wargamed and won.
Energy. Yeah, we did Adepticon over the last week. It was phenomenal. Like it was just like a really great experience. It was nice to go there and have like our thoughts about like us being well suited for wargaming like actually be confirmed.
Well, we are. Just because nobody knows it doesn't mean that.
I honestly felt like ratio of people there of wargamers who actually were excited about and like down for our terrain than RPGers, because you can't do wargames theater of the mind.
No.
Now I gotta use terrain, and I think when you just show people like a picture or show them like the theory of our stuff, like you just see the price point and you're like, wow, well that's not great. But then when you get like your hands on it and you see how it actually works and you're like, oh, I'm not getting one thing that I have to assemble and paint. I'm getting a number of pieces that can make a bunch of different things and they can come pre-painted and all that. Yeah.
You said these trees blew people's minds, right?
Yeah, so like... every my big thing was whenever everybody was like looking and I could tell they were like somewhat interested because they're used to just like looking and not touching. It's just like, yeah, feel free to pick up anything, don't worry about being delicate. And then I like just grabbed one of the trees and I'm just like yeah, you're not gonna be able to break it, and that usually brought people in just because like nobody's used to seeing that.
Yeah.
Because trees are usually not durable.
Although I heard Mace flexed and snapped a piece in half.
Yeah, Mace was doing a durability demo and she picked one of the only things that isn't durable, which was she grabbed one of the flags and was like, I'm gonna bend it from tip to tip like this. It's like that's not. I mean, all right, that's a different situation. So she broke that, but like that's.
But Mace is also a badass, so like, it's par for the course. It's like
yeah. Oh, Mace is here.
Oh.
So here's the thing, though. We were having problems with the flag being so tall that it was falling out of its peg hole the entire time.
She fixed it.
Yeah, once she snapped the pole in half, it was way more stable. She was just thinking ahead.
She's good that way. She's good in all ways.
Yeah. I don't know, but we're really excited about it. We're definitely keeping it in mind. Because we're wanting to make wargame video content. We're wanting to do some wargame streams. Like, we wanted to do wargames for a long time. And it's just kind of... It was always a whole, like, well, maybe we should focus on other stuff. And we just made ourselves do Adepticon and, like, go and actually, like, commit to it. And it came out great.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
You guys were glowing when you came home.
Yeah. Oh, it was a really, like, invigorating... Like, our bodies are tired and want to stop. But, like, spiritually... We're like the three of us were like super energized by the whole thing,
You ascended a few layers.
It was cool just to talk to like a bunch of people who were excited about it, and yeah, I don't know, it was great just to be getting ideas from them, and
Yes.
it was I don't know, it was a lot of fun.
Well, you're especially
Um,
having been sort of been sequestered away in pandemic world for 2 years. It's like
yeah,
seeing there's nothing like seeing people's first reaction to it or talking to people who love it and go, oh, they're like, thank you so much, this stuff is so cool. It's just like it really is. I cannot wait for Gen Con. Very much
I also
looking
feel
forward.
like, and a huge part of it too was just saying like, yeah, I mean, this stuff is actually gonna be in the store like soon. So getting so like, yeah, just get on our newsletters that you know when like this
Yeah.
stuff comes out. Because like the Planar Pylon is such a good war game thing, and we sold it in a 2-pack, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
For
Well,
war games,
it was
literally
literally
just
for
drop
that.
2 Planar Pylon
Yeah.
objectives. Yeah.
It was for that reason. It was good.
Yeah.
It was originally called the LED Objective Pack before it had a name. It was, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's a phenomenal.
Nina
It's
did a
phenomenal
really
experience.
she did a nice job sculpting that thing. It's really cool.
It's so good.
Yeah. That was actually she had to go. That was a page 1 resculpt. I scrapped the first one because it wasn't working, and
Huh.
she went
I'm really happy
back
with what came out.
and it went back and did it over, and I just killed it. Yeah, yeah, it's a
Just
cool.
as a whole, I'm really happy with Wildlands.
Me too.
I think it's a lot of our best stuff, and like it the approach that we took with it as well. It feels like the most flexible stuff we've ever made. Like the amount of different systems you can use it in, and like it's so good for both scatter building and like sculpted like floor building and
Most flexible until you see our new cities system.
that's
it.
true.
On that note, are we newsed out?
I think so. Yeah, we got a. It's 7:30. We got stuff we need to cover. Let's
All right.
let's go into the cities.
Wow, I already have a picture up. Okay, so we are. Wait, let me go. Let me hang on. Let's. Oh!
Yo, look at that.
Did you see
That's
that? Kish?
gorgeous.
Oh, you were on the. Oh, I was spilling my cider. I thought that's what you got excited about. I didn't quite.
Have we shown this yet? Is this like
Yeah.
just a beam? Like
We did
out
show
the
it.
gate
Oh.
without even-
Yeah, it
without
was
any-
inadvertent being. I was on the wrong. I hit the wrong button. Let's go to
Oh,
this
well,
one. Wait.
it's too late
No,
now.
let's go to this one. Wait. All right. So here's our. Yeah. Well, we'll get back to that. It was the first one supposed to be up, but I was gonna sort of preamble first. Darn it, Mickey.
Yeah.
All right. So our original. Whoa. New camera setup here. There, look at that little house. So our original city builder system. So the plan on with this new cities, which needs a name, by the way. Did we ask people to give us good names? Because we need a name.
We did. The rabbit's given us about 50.
Slacking off, man. I expect at least 100
Yeah.
by now.
I expected at least one per rabbit, but
Oh,
well.
we'll take what we can get. So we are expanding on the original, right? We had Fieldstone and Tudor in the original, and we're adding new stuff. So we'll do a little bit of expanding these original bits, and then we're gonna add a bunch of new stuff. Our guiding principles on this new city are we want to break the box. Sort of the biggest thing that irks me is that everything was just basically square. All our buildings were just squares, like boo squares. So we're breaking the box. We're focused heavily on scatter building. So the original cities, our premise was everything was going to be built in line with streets or sidewalks. But it's a very restrictive way to build, and it's not really how most people are building in the real world. Generally, you're building on top of something and scattering them out.
I don't know. That's what we did in Manhattan. Everything's on a grid there.
See what you did there?
Yeah.
And it's better than Boston.
Boston.
And then, yeah. What do you just take a bunch of cow pads and like pave them?
I want to design my major population center around concentric circles.
Not
That
even.
was
They're
great.
like anyway.
Yeah.
And then the big one is multi-level building, right? We want to really accentuate the z-axis, going going vertical, doing stuff you can't do on graph paper, playing in the 3D space. It is 3D terrain. Let's play in 3D space. So that's kind of what we're looking at, big picture. So to that end, we're going to show a couple of pictures here. So that first one I already dropped was this is a Fieldstone expansion piece. It's a portcullis wall. Where the heck is my portcullis? I gotta put and that was what I was. Man, where did I move my? I'm moving all the stuff around in the studio. I don't know where I put everything yet. Here we go. Do I have one for that?
So this will take all your arch insert doors, yeah?
Yeah, it takes all your. Let's go back to. Close scan. So, it's not painted. Here's the. So it'll take. Oh, is the slot even made? Oh man, it might not have the right slot yet. Oh yeah. Well, I guess it's sort of. It's a prototype.
Get the drill.
Yeah, no, seriously. All right. Well, I forced it in, but so it'll take your old, all of your existing inserts, so you can throw them in there and put them in your city and whatnot. So we have some little bits like that to expand your existing cities. So there'll be a little bit of Tudor stuff, a little bit of Fieldstone stuff. But the main course will be there are two new biomes, which are ashlar and wood. So we have rustic wood. Let's see if I have this queued up. All right, so rustic wood is going to be something like this. So on the far right there, you see our existing Tudor. On the left is wood. These were some paint tests that Aaron, I think, was doing. But so new wood is going to look something like that on the left. So it's going to be just some plain vernacular wood, as Eli calls it, like just the wood that you'd use anywhere from a plain tavern to a warehouse to a thieves guild to a shack to, I don't know, anything made out of wood. So I don't know why we didn't do wood before, but turns out you use wood all the time. And so we got a couple of bits like this is going to be the magnetic wall on the left there. So sort of center post. The idea is that it kind of gives you a nice central place to put some cool decoration on your wall. And let's see, here are a couple of build outs. So these, forgot the big disclaimer across everything here is these are work in progress pictures and sculpts and paints and whatnot. And so none of this is finished. All of this could change. Like we're just showing you the process and showing you where we're at. By the time we launch stuff, things could get killed, things could change, things could evolve. It's kind of part of the fun of this is you see how it gets where it ends up and see what our process is. So all of this could change. So this is how it goes. So here's a couple of Aaron was testing out sort of what does a bunch of this wood look like together, and sort of what does it look like with the Tudor, because we wanted to be able to sort of mix and match Tudor and wood, give you some more options. It's another way, kind of a sneaky way of expanding on Tudor while also making something new. So you see a couple of new walls in there, as well as that's color for the new roofs. That's the old roof, the terracotta roof sculpt with some a new paint test. We're looking at some green roofs, which I'm pretty excited about. So this was just playing with wood, new wood pieces in the existing Tudor to give you a sense of wood. Oh, and then we have one. Here's a sculpt in progress from Eli. This is going to be secret door piece. So the concept of this piece is there will be a really thin plank piece that will fit into that hole, fill that whole gap, and you'll have one on either side, so you can pop it off. You can pop just one off, and it's like a secret compartment, or you could pop them both off, and it's a secret door pass through. We're also looking at a broken version, so you could then put the broken one on and have it as like a ruined wall or a breakaway wall, or whatnot, but it's going to give you some fun flexibility. Or you could just leave it open as a door or an unfinished thing or a weird window or whatnot. But it seems like it's going to be a fun, versatile piece. So that's wood. Do we have any questions on wood before we look at ashlar?
People are wondering if these are still using corner posts. They are. It's
Yes.
going to be the same peg system that we used before, so that all of the old steady stuff will still be backwards compatible with it.
Same style of building as this, right? Where you slot walls in, you slot corner posts in. You can change out your corner posts, change out your walls, and the like. We have a few improvements to the corner posts. We're putting little pull accessory hole pegs on the holes on the sides, so we can dress them up with some accessories or some like skins and some facades that'll cover them up. Fun bits like that. But yeah, it's the same fundamental system, so then you can mix and match all this stuff. You can put the wood posts with your Tudor stuff, or your Tudor stuff with your wood, or vice versa, or wood with your stone, or however you want to mix it and match it.
Yeah. And there will be wood posts made. There'll be posts made in the wood style.
Yeah, we just don't have them yet.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, the other big one is, while I'm down in this realm here, is we're doing a this flat peg system, which we've dubbed the Biscuit System. This is awfully dark, isn't it? Let me open that up. Wait. Wrong way. So we're gonna have, and we're actually gonna tool and cast some of the real floors in Dwarven Night before the campaign, which we've never done before. So we'll have fully functional biscuit holes and biscuits. They're doing these little flat pegs that look kind of like biscuits, and then like a biscuit joiner for anyone who does carpentry, and then there'll be some little slots sort of like this, but they'll also have a hole on the other side so they can take our paired pegs from like the docks or the bridges or the wildland stuff, and this will let you essentially put these little grooved or ribbed pegs in there, or biscuits, and then sort of connect multiple floors together for multi-level building and whatnot. It's gonna also, you don't even need to do it for multi-level. It'll just help hold stuff together. Right? But we'll have a working sample. This was just like a dremeled out approximation of what it's gonna feel like. But we'll have actually tail end of June. We should have some working samples in hand. It'll be kind of exciting. So the biscuit slots. Well, these are the big old ones. The newer ones are going to be. Biscuit slots will be popping up all over the place to hold stuff together. Any other wood questions?
Sue Slim's wondering if there's going to be LED and magnetic wood pieces, and yes, there will be.
So the core, the core pieces are, we're going to have a door wall, we're going to have a window wall, we're going to have a solid wall, we're going to have an LED wall, similar to this, right? With modular LEDs, so you can pop out your LEDs and use all of your existing LED stuff. We'll have some new LED options, and a magnetic wall. As well as we're working on some double high walls and narrow walls. So you'll have narrow walls for doing 2x4s and 2x2s. So yeah, there will be a whole bevy, a whole system of walls. Like, I don't know, it's a lot of, like, the core piece. It's a lot. Like, Tyler could tell you the exact numbers, but by the time you add them all up, there's between the corner posts and all the walls, and the floors and stuff. It's a bunch of core pieces. There'll be 4x4 floors. There'll be 2x4 floors, 2x2 floors, something like. Right, we'll have little 2x2 floors and 2x4 floors, which will have a removable stair insert, so you can put a stair hole in a stair if you want stairs down. Same thing with the I don't have one of the mock-up, but the 4x4 floor will have a 2x1 cutout, so you can put the insert in there or pop it out to have stairs going down or going up. That was one of the problems with the original city, is we had all these floors that had holes in them, but if you kind of never had enough plain floors. You always had I feel like there were too many floors that had stair cut out. So now we're just basically all the floors are gonna have the stair cut out, but we'll have an insert for it, so you can fill it up and use it as solid or breakaway or secret passage or whatnot. It's a good question. What else?
People are wondering if the stair hole covers will be able to work with the past stair hole floors.
They won't, and it's infuriating. The problem is the original stair holes are not very uniform. So we wanted to make nice, clean, uniform holes in these ones, and the Filigree said that the tolerances are just too far off on the old ones, so they won't work, which is a bummer. But a good question.
Everyone's wondering, what do we need more of now from existing cities to best synergize with the new campaign?
That's a great question. It obviously depends on what you're into and what sort of how you play. We're not going to be doing a robust street system, so if you really like our existing streets, the Imperial streets are going to be restocked shortly. Like, you could buy into the streets now, and those will play fine with these. And getting any of the core, like the basic Fieldstone and Tudor stuff, if you want to have a nice variety in your city, I'd get some of the core stuff. The balconies you'll be able to use, if you've got the if you get the balcony set, like this will work great with the new wood buildings. You can use the wood balconies. Tavern accessories are always great. The LED walls, magnetic walls, basically any of it is going to be useful. Like, our idea is we're doing a bunch of new stuff, but we're trying not to duplicate what already exists with the Tudor and Fieldstone. So if any of that stuff you have, it's just going to give you more variety in your city. It's going to give you more options to have different types of buildings and different style and different character. You get any of the old roofs, like they should. You get any of those stuff, but also it's hard to know what you're gonna want and what you're gonna like best from the new one. Like, maybe you want to just wait and get all the new modular roofs, which we'll look at shortly, whatnot. But I feel like you can't go wrong with any of the basic building stuff, especially because we're going to be expanding on it. The Fieldstone, there's going to be some other great uses for the Fieldstone pieces. So also the Fieldstone stuff plays really well. The castle bits, you can also use it for building dungeons or cellars or whatever. So you can't go wrong with Fieldstone. So basically, I just said everything, but but core pieces in general, I'd focus on. Because if you get a bunch of Fieldstone stuff and you're like, oh, I want these new, cool new portcullis wall, get it.
Merc's wondering if there's a reason to get balconies now and not just wait for the new scaffold system. I'd say the new scaffold system isn't going to do the same thing that that balcony does.
Yep, we have different. All the stuff will be able to play together nicely. Like, we're not duplicating the existing balcony system. We have some other balcony stuff.
The scaffold system, in theory, the way that the new scaffold system will let you make balconies is it'll be like wraparound balconies, whereas the balcony we currently have in store is like for hanging off of one wall.
Well, we have that also in the new, but it's a different, I'll show you where we're at there. But the balconies are great, just a good accessory across the board. Especially good vertical, fun for the monks, all that. What else? That'd be a good episode when we're closer to cities, or even during cities or something. We could do like the old and new, like what's, do like a compatibility episode, right? Of just like, hey, here's some of the new stuff. Here's how it plays great with the old bits. Here's some of the things you might think about. If you've got this, you might want to think these would give you a bunch of new flexibility or whatever. These are good questions. Now we can look at Ashlar.
Merc's wondering if you can request more LED colors. He's got a bunch of yellow torches. Would love more, like the Wildlands lanterns that use more varied colors.
That's a good request.
Like orange. Yeah.
We have, so far we have one non-fire LED. Yes, I'm a fan of having more variation in the colors, because it's we do have a lot of fire options. But also
somebody wanting to know how multiple levels will anchor themselves, which I think we'll get to later on, just by showing how the system works.
Yeah. What do you mean how they'll anchor themselves?
Like, if you have when you have a multi-story building, how it's going to stay secure. The answer is the peg system or the biscuit system, and then you'll be able to like stack it level by level, and then remove it level by level, and it'll be secure if the biscuits work.
Biscuits and the the new we have lateral holes. Here's like a. Is that gonna work? So we're gonna have. Oh man. We're gonna have little lateral holes in the corner posts, so you can also peg together two corner posts, so and then use those like double corner posts for additional stability. So you can peg the floors together with the biscuits and then join two. I zoomed in too far. Got paint in my hands. It's a whole adventure. Oh. And then basically I have two of these pegged together, holding them to giving you additional security. It should work well. As well as we're gonna have stuff hanging. I don't know. I will demo the heck out of it once we have some working pieces, so you can see how exactly it works. This is gonna be awesome.
And someone was wanting to see the like lion arch wall.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see that with the double doors, with dungeon double doors, but does that work?
It doesn't take. The double doors are bigger. They're taller. But don't worry, we have a solution for that. We'll get
stronger. Yeah, we do have a solution for it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy didn't see that piece because she just got here.
Hi, Amy.
Yeah, we're making arch walls.
Well,
so that you can put arch inserts into city walls. Yeah.
It's a little sticky, but it's there.
Man, is there anything
here for Amy? Let's go to the.
Are those removable pegs or permanent? They're removable. Because otherwise they would cause problems when you weren't using them.
Yeah. And this is one I just jammed in there willy-nilly.
All right. I think that's all I think most of the rest of the questions that remain are things that we'll cover just by moving forward.
Cool. So then we are, and thanks for all the good questions and thoughts. I mean, that's one of the reasons we love doing this show is getting the feedback from you guys, getting the good questions, interacting. Like that's why we're here. So please keep them coming. So we're gonna have, in addition to the rustic wood, we're gonna have this fancy ashlar stone, which will look something like this. These are some paint tests. I don't have just a good straight head of a one wall. So this is some tests Aaron was doing. The corner posts, those are the existing fieldstone corner posts, just painted in this style to try and get a sense of what the stuff will look like built together. And those are LED. The main ones there, those are LED walls, and then the back inside, those are just plain straight walls. So the idea is these are decorative, finely crafted ashlar stone for building abbeys and cathedrals and manor houses and mansions and sort of the upscale thing. So we're kind of going right. We're doing high town and low town, like super upscale and super commoner, and then our existing Tudor and Fieldstone kind of falls in the middle. So we'll have just a nice array when it's all together. So this is like a test of the new ashlar color with the existing slate roofs, and then with the existing Tudor roofs, see how it feels. And then this is testing the new color of the new roofs. It's green. And then here's a couple fun ones. This is a progress. Let's zoom in there. This is a wall, the window wall that Eli is working on, or just finished, I guess, as we speak. The beautiful mullions in there, all archy. We got a lot of arches everywhere in this thing, right? It's a lot of majestic arches. And then we'll have like a super decorative floor. So the floor, like this is the existing fieldstone floor, just painted in color to match. But we'll have a kind of a regular stone floor, which I didn't grab a picture of, and then we'll have this fancy stone floor that Nina was doing. What?
I was trying to figure out there, like, is that a squid on the side? I was trying to figure out what he's talking about. It's for the magnet wall, that design in the center that
That's
we
a
have to, like,
LED wall.
that's the LED wall. Okay.
Yeah, so that'd be an LED socket in the middle of
Yeah,
that.
it's not a squid, but I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our new squid character that we're introducing. So that's kind of the gist of Ashlar. Do we have any questions about our fancy Ashlar stone?
Why are windows offset and not centered?
Ah, that's a fantastic question. It's so you can move the windows to the right or the left. If the window is centered, it's always stuck in center. This gives you some variety where you can switch the wall around either way, and then you get your window to right or left. Gives you more variety out of the same piece.
Dungeon of Doom double door should take city walls. Just tested it. Oh, are you saying?
Oh.
Because it uses a peg system, so you can put the. Okay, I misunderstood what the question was. Got it. He wasn't saying put the double doors inside the arch. He was saying put the arch wall
into
inside
the double doors. Yes,
yeah.
That's a great question.
Completely misunderstood that.
That's it. Who's the smart? That's a good.
Oh god, I lost the name. Where are they?
So take this is our
Vertex. Is Vertex
artist, of course. Wow, we're really Dutch on this, aren't we? We're like, let's get.
It is wild how short 2 hours feels when we're doing cities, and we've got questions about everything. We're trying to cover an entire Kickstarter that doesn't exist yet.
We've got we've got 6 months. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't even think about that. There's so welcome to the compatibility video.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Vertex, you're on it. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Love it. And put this in your dungeon. Paint it first.
Let's see. Will the filigree designs be plain, like in this test set, or will they be painted with a contrasting color?
They'll be very much like this, like we have here. So we messed around with a lot of paint options, and it started getting busy. If we put too much crazy contrast on them, it started getting busy when you had larger builds with a lot of the stuff, because there's also decorative bits that Michelle is making all these accessories, and we have facades and things. So it's gonna get elaborate quickly, and it was too much of an onslaught to have too much we tried putting them in silver and dark and trying all the different stuff, and it was just like it was a lot. But it's a good question. And that's also part of the fun of doing this. We iterate a lot, right? This is like the 10th paint job that Aaron tried in this, and we have we really kind of explore. I mean, part of the fun is our team is really creatively fearless, right? And we'll just dive in and try it a bunch and try it wrong and try it backwards and flip it around, and we just explore a lot of options to see what feels great, and then look at stuff. Twice a week we meet and look at all the new stuff and kind of get a consensus to everybody generally is feeling happy and say, okay, that's what we're doing. Keep moving, keep going. And a thousand decisions like that made compounded on top of each other, iterated out. It's amazing.
Also,
the creative stew here is like.
Also, the corner posts here are not fancy stone corner posts. These are repainted field stone.
Yeah. And the floors, the existing wood, like these are just, once again, these are just rough paint tests and stuff. I'm just giving you guys like the rough, like literally this is from our meeting on Tuesday, or maybe it was last Friday or whatever. But like this is just literally showing you our process as we do it, like roughing stuff in, mocking stuff in, just trying it out to see how it's going to feel. This is the back of the
A lot of people saying it
LED
looks like
wall.
sandstone.
Yeah, it does have a kind of a sandstone-y feel for sure.
Somebody's asking about roofs and windows, which we will get
We
to
will get there.
later. Any plan? That's another window question. We'll get to that.
What's the window question?
People are asking if we're gonna have stained glass windows.
We'll see about that. We're not gonna cover that tonight.
There's also been a lot of questions about like small pieces, like accessory pieces, that are kind of the stuff that we'll figure out after we get all the big stuff. So,
We have an aggressive accessory list.
Yes.
Like the original. I think Chris was noting. He's like, wait a second. The original cities had like 4 accessories. Like, what the heck? There was
like the tavern set, and then there was
the Wicked City. Yeah,
that's kind of it.
Yeah, we had a cart. We had some crates. We had the full tavern set, and a couple of market stalls, and that was it. So we have a wonderful, rich, like, Michelle has been going nuts. We'll show you some of the latest. We're gonna have a lot of fun, both pole accessories and magnetic accessories and facades and skins, freestanding accessories. Just be lots of stuff to give character and meaning to all your bits. Narrative drivers. It's like, God, it's wild stuff. Let's actually look at an accessory.
Yeah, let's move on.
So here's we'll show you a glimpse of the process here. Is Michelle here tonight?
She is, yes.
All right, Michelle, we're going in on your process. You can you know how you can tell it's Michelle? The nails. This is this was a sketch of, we're like, all right, we got to do a fireplace. So Michelle was like, well, what if we start with something like this, and then blocked it out quick, like on the phone, like sometimes like in the middle of our trade meeting, she'll just like block it out quickly and like change the block on the fly as we're going, and so it like blocked into something like that, and then blocked into something like that. That's the same block, and then I guess I don't have any more interim bits. So then it came something like this, and then something like this is the story. Although this isn't actually, it's missing it's got the bucket and the pokers on there, but they're not in this one. But the shelf is magnetic, so you can pop that off. So you could swap in, like, this is the shelf from the original cities, magnetically popped on there and whatnot. So it's going to be, there'll be an LED in the fire, so the fire will burn. And it's going to be 2 inches across, so it works really nicely in your dungeon, or you could put it in a passageway or fill out your house or whatnot. But we'll have because who doesn't need an LED fireplace? Did I miss anything on the fireplace, Michelle?
Let's see. Need the Xmas stock. Yeah, we need to make a Christmas stocking magnetic accessory to put on the.
Yeah.
So you can put any of our magnetic accessories on there.
Yeah, although it's not a ton of real estate. Like they're generally too big for the space that's there. But what's nice is then the shelf becomes a magnetic accessory that you can put somewhere else in your building. And she left a little room for tiny treasures.
Have we considered like the paint job for it, or is that still something we're gonna do later?
Some light considerations, but no, we'll get there when we actually have the thing in hand.
Finley's wondering if it's similar in shape to the plinth arch from Dungeon of Doom, in terms of the scale of it.
It's 2 inches wide, or will be when it's done. This was shy by a quarter inch or something. She's adding just a spickle on either side. I don't know. That's a good Michelle question. I don't know what I think it's 1 and 5/8 inch high, right? So it'll fit. It'll basically fit in a. The idea is it'll fit in the. It'll fit against a wall, not taller than your roof, so that you can put it in a multi-level build. Like you could have something on top of it and it'll fit in there, and you can open it up and reveal it. So I think the plinth arch is taller than that, right? It sticks up. I can't remember. Let's see that one right here.
But will it fit in a double door arch?
Well, it's 2 inches wide. I think it will. Ask does Michelle? She can confirm or deny.
She says it fits a one-story building.
So here's the plinth. So
she's got it at her place with the with some city stuff.
This was the plinth arch, and
it's shorter than the plinth.
Yeah, so it should fit inside here if it's it'll fit in here with a little headroom, because it'll stop at this line. But yeah, so you could put a nice fireplace in your dungeon. This is actually a great place to put it too. Right, just back it into this wall. It'll look really nice. You know what? Once we have one cast and in hand, we'll pop it in and see if it looks something like this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any other? All right. So, So the other big thing that we're trying to do with this city is we want to make, or not want to, we are making a whole bunch of like toolbox sets, right? So the interior wall system, courtyard wall system, scaffolding system, 1-inch rise system. What else did I miss? Modular roof system, but like sort of self-contained sets that you can have just tons and tons of building possibility that you can combine with your old cities, with your dungeon, with your whatever, like a whole bunch of really useful bits. We can look at actually a couple. What do we want to look at? Should we look at the roofs first? Because that doesn't define a dungeon so well. But actually, I guess
nobody here wants to see roofs.
Well, it's either that or the entire modular ship fleet that we didn't.
Oh yeah, no, they hate that more. Go to the roofs.
There's sorry, Topulus. There's no modular fleet.
Yeah, just go to the roofs.
What?
Yeah, the chat's doing what you'd expect.
Chatting. Let's go overhead. All right, so.
Yeah, give us enough time. We'll make everything. Don't worry about it.
Well, at the rate we go, it'll take us 20 years. So.
Still waiting on the unicorns. Oh, we should put unicorns on one of the arches.
Ha! That would be awesome. All right.
Maybe in the fancy. Maybe in the ashlar.
Fancy unicorns. All right, so we've shown this a little bit before. Let's show you what the. So we have a modular roof system. What am I missing here? 1, 2, 3. I need the valley. We'll go close. This thing is. I gotta work on the. What am I missing you? Is that as wide as it gets?
What's a giveaway word? Give me a giveaway word.
Oh.
Garderobe.
Oh, we are not making a garderobe currently. It is not in the not in the
unicorn.
Plan. Unicorn is perfect. Give them their unicorn they've been asking for. Yeah.
Oh, people saying squid wall.
Ooh, squid wall, one word. Age of Squid Wall. It's the new game. It's blowing up.
All right, if you guys want a chance to win a $50 gift card to the Dwarven Forge online store, no matter where you live in the world, you can win this. Just type squid wall, all one word, into the chat.
Squid wall
gives you a chance to win, and we'll roll that in 5 to 10 minutes, whatever I remember.
All right, squid wall, one word. Squid wall is a great word. So we have a modular roof system. These are some geometry mocks that Toby put together in 3D. The idea is using these are just the 3 basic pieces of the straight, the valley, and the hip. You can make just about anything in a 2x2, and you can make a huge variety of roofs. We also, for fun, have a diagonal in here, which maybe it's easier to see with overhead. Right, so these are. Do I have another corner? Well, if these are straight walls, this is a corner wall, a corner or a hip, and the diagonal goes like that. So, which we'll talk about the break in the box pieces. We have a couple of diagonals, and this is key for that. Also, you can do kind of neat things if you put 4 of the diagonals together, like I don't have the 4th one here, but you can do like a kind of a neat tower roof sort of thing. You can actually make them square and oversized and whatnot. So diagonal is going to be a crowd pleaser. But we basically these 3 core pieces plus the diagonal plus. Oh, the idea is they're going to have biscuits low and high on the back so that you can biscuit them together. You can biscuit them to a floor like that. You can also biscuit a floor high, so you can do this sort of a thing. And then they will have on the side, they won't have this biscuit, they'll have 2 little pole accessory holes, which are A, for laterally connecting them, and B, for connecting. We have this series of rake soffits, which is basically an overhang, so you can have and these are not sculpted, these are just raw geometry, right? These are just figuring out how the geometry is going to work. So these things, we can give you a little overhang, and then, or we have a peak one. Is this the one that has a footer? I don't know, something more like that. Right, so we have a thing sort of like that, and then if you've got, do I have another one in hand? If you have a double high roof, you then take the peak into another rake soffit on another straight. Does that make sense? I don't have enough. So if you have like double high like this, you have the peak coming up here, and then you can extend this thing out here. So it's a way to give character to the roof. / this thing can also stick into the it'll be able to stick into the new lateral holes on the corner posts, so you can do this sort of a thing. Like if you have you can just put it like right on the side of your building to make like a little entry area thing or whatever. So it's going to be really versatile collection of pieces that'll let you build any sort of shape to fit over, because we're going to have these new 2x2s and 2x4s, 4x4s, so you'll be able to, whatever you're making with your roofs, you'll be able to capture this. In addition, we have a 2x2 peak. So if you want to do, right now basically everything is multiples of 4, right? Because you're using pairs, so you could do a 4-inch, or if you do double high, you could do an 8-inch. This lets you get to 6 inches. So you can work 6 inches or 10 inches or 14 inches or any other increment of 2, which will be really helpful. And then we have, we're looking at a 4-inch long shed roof. So this is the same rise with double the run. So if the standard one is 2 inches high, 2 inches long, this is 4 inches, 2 inches high, 4 inches long. And the purpose of these is to be able to do big sheds and whatnot, or you could do, I can't remember the term, Eli knows the term for the barn style roof, where it's sort of flatter in the middle and steeper on the sides. Somebody here is smart and knows it, I'm sure. Oh wait, come way back. Whoop. See, that sort of a thing. And more importantly, if you're doing, we're going to do some sort of temple pediment thing. This is the legendary Griffin Tamer pediment piece. This is going to kind of give us a vehicle to do some sort of. Let me see if it gets to the back. Right, you can do some sort of temple pediment thing, and this will be a nice backing roof for that.
We might need to pull back a bit more.
Well, it doesn't. This is only a 6-inch pediment. This is an 8-inch roof, so it's not perfect, but that gives you the idea. Like it. I get it.
Yeah, you might need to pull up on the camera a bit. Yeah.
That's sort of a. It's sort of a thing. Obviously, this is 6 and this is 8, so it's not quite there, but it gives you the idea. So those are the basic pieces. We have a test sculpt. So Toby did a test sculpt to see. We wanted to test a whole bunch of stuff. So it was kind of fun. So he did a sculpt to about 80%, and we had a couple of things we wanted to see. We wanted to figure out how we wanted to approach the open side. Do we want to have the bottom be like that or be like this? So we preferred this side. We wanted to see what does it look like when they're layered up, like how does it flow one to another? It flows well. Realized having wood at the top here didn't make any sense because logically you wouldn't have wood on the top of if it's exposed. If you got nothing on it, doing that, you wouldn't want to have wood on the top because it would rot. That's the whole point of having a roof, is that it won't rot like that. We're testing, would it be annoying if there's, you can see there's a little door.
Oh, nice.
There's like a little door in there, so it could be a storage area or a closet, or maybe it's a trap door out or whatever. But the idea is, if you put a little door in there, would it be annoying in too many multiples? Would it, what's that feel like? And we're pretty happy with it. It kind of gives you neat options, especially like if you have a couple, or if you have a thing built around an open, like an attic sort of thing, you can have a bunch of these around. It looks pretty good. So it's kind of fun. Like that's part of, once again, part of the process. So we got a thing pretty close and then put it out, and that let paint team test paint on it. Is the texture going to work? Are the colors going to work? What are we doing for the side color? Or we realized that the side color we were planning wasn't going to work great, so we're going to change the texture here. Maybe that texture will go onto the side, and that'll drive the color. And sort of fun. It would paint and sculpt are going hand in hand. And it's kind of fun. And I can show you, what do I have here? On the, speaking of, oh yeah, here were some sketches that Eli did of potential sides, so which is basically echoed in what Toby sculpted there. So we have, actually, let me pop it back. We'll go, I wish I could side by side. I have not set it up to do that. No, I can't see. Right, so that one side has and the other one is thin. And this one didn't have the wood. This was like a stucco thing. We might actually do wood now instead. We're trying to sort it out. Then we have, let's see, so it's an Eli sculpt. Also, this was some exploration on rake soffit styles that we could do on the side there. And that's something that Michelle is queuing up to work on, doing some really neat. What's a fun decorative? The idea is like, how do we change the look of the roof by adding this thing? It gives you an opportunity, so you could use the roof. Let me go back to the close. All right, so you can use the roof. Obviously, these don't line up because one side is sculpted one way and one side is the other. But you could use the roof playing like that with a neat exposed side, or you could use the roof with either a pair of the rake soffits on there, or with the big gable peak thing on there. And so, how does this? What's this actual sculpt gonna look like? This is just raw geometry in the sculpt. So like, how do we take advantage of what this can do? Does this swoop up? Does this do a thing? Like what's the style that this can bring that'll make the same roof look different if you have two of them side by side? How can we give people as much modularity as possible on this thing? So that's some fun expression there. And then this was a initial test sculpt that Eli did for texture on the slate, sort of seeing what it looked like, and then Toby took that and ran with it on the main bit. This is a little exploration of, is this going to work? Like, these were the hip, the valley, and the diagonal with the straights. Like, are the shingles, are they going to line up right? Is it going to be weird to have smalls and larges alternating? Turns out this groove in the middle of the valley that should be under the tiles under the shingles on the top. Eli used to actually build roofs. He was a carpenter, so he's like, no, the water will get in the wrong place. You got to get under. So it's sort of been a fun journey exploring the roofs. I say fun a lot, don't I? I guess because we have fun. And then this was a test Aaron did of like what would these look like in that same green that we've been really enjoying. The answer is it looks really nice, green. And then we had some messing around with what could you do with the shed, the 4-inch shed roofs. And those are a few potential ideas of how you could do it.
Oh, that's a cool one.
That's the barn thing. I don't know what it's called.
You know what we'll need? We'll need a magnetic perch for the new angle on the shed roof.
I hadn't thought of that one. Yeah, we have a.
It'll be like because that one was made for the one angle and won't work for the shadow angle.
We were looking at a 2-inch sort of situation. So Miles cast these with metal in them, so that we can you can put magnetic accessories on because that's really pleasing. So we're looking at a 2-inch wide perch that has a biscuit hole and a pair of pole accessory holes in it. So it's going to be a very versatile piece for fixing stuff to your roof and actually doing some playable stuff on the roof. Because the key is we want the roofs to be playable, right? You want to be able to not only look good, but you want to be able to get up there and have stuff, have people fighting on the roofs and catwalks and widows walks and bridges and stuff. You know, like you want to be up at that Assassin's Creed like nonsense, parkour nonsense up there because that's fun, dangerous. But yeah, I didn't think about something for the big guy.
All right. Let's get this giveaway rolled. 30-second warning. If you haven't typed in Squidwall yet, go ahead and do it. We do have 112 people entered, so
Woo!
We
got
we're
Squidwall.
good. I'll roll in about 30 seconds.
We got Squidwall fans. Roll it. They've had like 10 minutes. How long?
Roll it. All right.
Roll it. Squidwall.
Okay, a couple more people are getting in.
Oh.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Squidwall.
Crab Battle.
Crab Battle? That's a great name.
Yeah, Crab Battle 1.
Woo! Everybody wins in a crab battle. Is it? So
That's an old internet reference. I appreciate it.
We also are gonna have at least one specialty roof that's not modular, something like this guy here. I'm not showing it. Something like this guy here, which I think we showed before, and the so the fun gag that this thing is gonna have is thatched roof, because who doesn't want a thatched roof, right? So this was where'd it go? This was a 3D mock that Toby put together. But the fun gag here is it's going to house our fogger. I don't know if we ever showed this one or not. Is that continuous? No, it's interval. That's continuous? Yeah. Can you even see the fog? Yeah, not so right. So yeah, you'll be able to have a smoking chimney. Because, you need that, right?
Yes.
Why is my fogger freaking out? Okay, so it'll have a cutout in the underside. Little building with a smoking chimney, thatched roof with smoking chimney.
Yeah, it's funny because somebody pointed out this is the first thing we showed for cities too.
Yeah. Still cooking around.
And every week you get more questions like, "Hey, why aren't you guys doing thatched roofs?" And it's like, well, we are.
We did it. It's coming.
We showed it months ago.
It's back.
Yeah.
What else did I have on roofs? I think that was all in Roof Town. Do we have any other roof questions? Any roof thoughts?
Yeah, we had a good.
Anybody excited about roofs?
A lot of people were excited about roofs. People are stoked about the ability to do attics and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
how many paint colors will the new roof be available in? I think we're only doing one this time around. Yeah.
Try 2.
Try 2.
Try 2. We're looking for 2. But we'll see. It's all sort of up in.
A lot of it depends on the factory.
Yeah. But we're developing 2 currently. One of them is the green one. The other one is in the works. So you could do like a fun attic-y thing.
Any with fire damage? We don't currently have any ruined pieces planned.
No. They're, for whatever reason, port ruins are the first thing to get cut in every Kickstarter. They're just like...
Because so much of the time it just feels like, oh, you're just doing the same thing, but like broken. But there's I don't know. I think I would like for us to.
I wanted the Everything in Ruins Kickstarter. The world is in ruins.
It's weird to do as its own kick. Maybe we can just do it as like a store expansion. I don't know.
No, because I want to ruin everything.
Or maybe if the Kickstarter just blows up. I don't know.
No, it's everything. It's cities. It's dungeons. It's castles. It's everything ruined. Trees ruined. Like
Is
everything.
Is it gonna be an appealing Kickstarter though? Like
yeah. I don't know. Everybody keeps asking.
If we don't have the intact versions at the same time.
No, because we already have the intact versions existing.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's not working. What do I do here?
All right.
We'll find out. Wait, that's years off. So theoretically, with the biscuits, you could biscuit a roof up here, like a piece up here, so you could build up to a thing, or you could have your attic, everything biscuited down below, and then have your, I don't know, 4 of them, right? You have your roof on top of this, and then lift this roof off to reveal the attic, and you can play in the attic and top out, and then lift this whole thing off, right, as one big unit to reveal the floor below. Whatnot. Should be pretty neat. And we tried the style for these new roofs was sort of aggressive, rough-hewn slate, like dragon scale slate was kind of the thing. We wanted something that felt different from our existing, and had its own identity, and it had to be driven by the bottom of it. The bottom requires a 45-degree cutout because it's too tight. Because if you're doing an inside corner with a valley, where these meet, they overhang the floors by 3/16, so it looks, so when you have it on top of I just took it apart. I'm like, where's my cottage? I just took it apart. Right, when you have it on top of a thing, it'll hang over by about yay. So it looks better, but it means when you're doing an inside working with a valley, they're gonna meet. So the bottoms had to have a 45-degree cutout. So the idea was like, well, can we embrace that in the design of the shingles and have them be this sort of like hexagonal shingle, and then it makes it feel different from our existing slate and existing terracotta.
City Builders 2, sick doll houses for gamers. It's a Dragos.
I love it. This is so true. Right, this is the original slate, and so this is the sort of aggressive, rough-hewn dragon scale slate.
You said aggressive a lot tonight.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling aggressive. I'm feeling feisty.
David's saying like, oh, you can make a widow's walk too.
We'll get there. Yes, 100%.
Let's see.
Any other roofity thoughts, feelings?
Let's see. Yeah, any questions regarding the roofs that we had? And the point is to like make some of these make these roofs match the new aesthetics, as well as still look good when we drop them on the Tudor and Fieldstone.
Yeah, we wanted a standalone system that was going to work for both the new buildings and the old buildings, and not duplicate what we already have. Yeah. So conceptually, these will look nice on everything. Old Fieldstone, old Tudor, new Ashlar, new Rustic Wood. Yeah. Oh, and they're gonna they'll connect something
Mad
like
Roboticist.
hey.
Mad Roboticist is saying, how will the exposed faces of the roofs work with both stone and wood themes?
Well, we are either gonna have this is either gonna be metal or wood or something. We're gonna have something up here that has a different color from whatever's down below. So you could very much be, you see in a lot of these old churches and stuff, like the roofs are wood, even if the building is stone. So we're gonna have something here that is kind of its own entity, right? It's not the same building material as any of the buildings that it's on. Well, it may be wood, which would be the same as it, but that's what we're playing with right now. So that is this should look good on anything you put it on top of. As well as we might have a couple styles of the rake soffits and gable peaks. So we could have one that's very ashlar-esque or whatever that can help kind of tie it into the ashlar piece, or there could be a really ashlar-y bit here. So we shall see. But that is one of our missions. I get this fogger's blasting my arm.
Finley's wondering how you're planning to connect double high roofs.
So with floors, you biscuit to a floor and then have the next level on top. So right, so these guys would connect to each other up here. So you could lift this level off to get to the attic. This level would be biscuit to this. This would lift off. You get down to the next level below. Does that make sense? So each one would be, you'd pull it off a level at a time, so that you could have some playable attics or playable crawl spaces or whatever in there. If you were doing, you could have a 2x4 floor in there and have your peaks and tops, something like that, and pull these off and play in there, and pull this off and play in the building down below, etc.
Any round roofs?
Not currently. Not currently.
Is there any thought to non-human city-style buildings like Elven or Dwarven?
Yes, we've been looking at some facade bits to give an Elven or Dwarven feel to some of the things. We'll see how it goes. But it's on our to do. I don't know if it'll get to done, but it's on the to do.
Oh, that's a good line.
I'm full of them.
That sounds like old Danny Kaye.
Yes.
That had big got it good energy.
Yeah. The vessel with the pestle, the mortar with the dragon with the flagon.
Any thoughts on an extra roof piece to allow intersecting of odd/even width roofs? For example, a 6-inch intersecting an 8-inch roof.
No, we're not there. Mad Roboticist did a whole exploration of.
He did a super in-depth.
Yeah, and it ends up being a lot of pieces. So right now, no, we're just working with whatever the 6 pieces plus the decorative rake soffit bits. But we will. It's hard to make a lot of specialty pieces. Like we want to, we're not. These aren't STLs. Like we have to cast thousands of these things, right? To make it worthwhile, we want to make 5,000-10,000 of these things. So it's hard to make a whole bunch of specialty pieces, especially if it's eating into our allowance to make that cool accessory or that other. There's so much stuff, so much ground, walls, floors, things that we want to cover. That we want, we don't want to eat up all of our sculpts just on roofs, because we also have a couple of specialties and and whatnot. Speaking of ground, we have a little taste of some sculpted ground. We have
Sculpted Ground.
Yeah. Some cobblestones. You guys been working on?
Oh yeah.
4x4 cobblestone. Yeah. So you can see there's there's neat circle patterns in there. So there's there's 2x2 circles that are overlapping by an inch, and plus there's the clear, the 1 inches. It's a pretty cool pattern. Excited.
So we got some cobblestones, because throw down some cobblestones, build your buildings, see what happens. Let's look at.
It's 8:30.
Yeah, so we've probably time for one more. Let's look at scaff. Well, I kind of want to look at. I want to break the box. Let's. We're gonna do these at least once a month, so we'll have time to look at. Man, I was thinking I would do a new piece for the. Well, that's okay. We can ask you. Do we want to look at some breaking the box pieces, some non-square geometry, or should I mess around with mocking up a piece using saws on camera? What's more exciting?
So do we want to look at a piece, or do you want to see a mock?
Do I want to make a piece, or do we want to? I need to make a mock-up of something, or we can look at a bunch of non-square geometry.
We got 3 early votes in for non-square. We did have a question about scaffolding. Is the size of the cobblestone comparable to the streets or the sidewalks? It's a floor height and it's a 4x4 tile, right?
Yes. Is the question? I'm a little confused by the question. Is it in terms like it's regular floor thickness? It
should build in line with sidewalks.
Yeah. But the actual cobbles are bigger than the sidewalk bricks, but smaller than the big flagstones of the streets.
We only have about 30 minutes left. Is a mock-up viable in that time?
It's a simple one, I think. Well, in concept.
There is more non-square than anything else. Scaffolding to complement caves, mock-up of a piece.
Well,
it's mostly non-square.
Okay. So this is a fun sort of exploration of the obvious thing we wanted to do was first obvious one was a diagonal, right? So started messing with just like a plain diagonal, very much like our vaulted dungeon diagonal, and then that sort of quickly turned into, oh wait, if that has a slot for a narrow wall, then you could put a door. Is that a very convincing door? You could put a door wall in there, or a window wall, or a solid wall, or whatever, and then you can suddenly have you can have it on a diagonal or whatever. The one of the neat things about this, we're sneaking into a little scaffolding too while we're here. I didn't show this thing. We got this guy looking at me. Oh man, there's this stuff. We're gonna have some sort of our scaffolding systems be something like this. This is a clean 2 inches on the diagonal here, so that you can, and it's got a biscuit hole, so you can attach a scaffold piece or whatever, and have like cool, pedestrian walkways above the ground or whatnot, which should open up a lot of neat 45-degree, like you could have a building with a 45-degree corner that then has a 45-degree platform that's going across to another building on the 45-degree, and then gets you back onto the 90 or whatnot. So that's going to play nice. The other piece that was sort of developed hand in hand was like, oh well, we need some sort of big diagonal, and originally it was like this. It evolved into. Do I have version? That was version 1. I don't know if I've. Whoa, did I lose version 3? Wait a second. Oh, there. Then it evolved into. Wait a second. This is. If this was the negative space of the small diagonal, then you could nest them together. So for doing some interesting interior wall builds. So basically the footprint on that became a 4x4 with a regular diagonal cutout, which lets those play really nicely together, as well as like we're gonna have a diagonal piece that has the exact same footprint as this in scaffold system, and then that could attach to it also and become like a part of a porch or whatever outside
thing or whatnot. So this thing was really exciting. Of course, the driver on this was, well, you need to be able to put in a wall so you can make it a door or a solid or an LED or those police they're staying busy tonight. Huh?
Yeah, man. It's a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Everybody's hyped up.
So
People
then
just partying a little too hard.
it happens, right? But then I was like, well, if we're putting walls in there, we want to be able to put a balcony in there so you can hang out over it. I'm like, oh no, I was trying to make it square around here so you could put the corner post skins on there, but it doesn't let the balconies, anything that kind of breaks the box doesn't work in there. So that opened up the next iteration, which was, I guess, which took the same thing but opened up the sides so that then you could put your balcony in there, and so now you could put your your balcony on a second story at a diagonal. It should get wider. Oh, that's as far as it goes. Well, I can go overhead. Then something like this, and the other nice thing with both of these is, where'd our roof guy go? So our diagonal roof is sized to fit over this with the same overhang that it has on a straight, as well as if you peg it together with two straights, it fits over the large diagonal. So you can use the same diagonal piece gets you roof coverage over both diagonals. So we didn't have to make a large diagonal, a small diagonal roof, which is clutch. And then you can also do like being able to put any piece in here, including the balconies. It lets you do a nice kind of overhang side balcony, whatever. It's kind of exciting. Then the other piece that was working on in tandem was I really wanted some sort of weird parapety corner thing, right? So you can have that Troll Skull Manor kind of tower off the side of your square building, right? So you could break up a square foot from something. So the original design had had space for a corner post here, so you could slide in your walls and do this and whatever. But it's a big, beefy piece, and it's I was like, is there a better way? So good old dev team, being as crafty as they are, I was like, well, what if you could? Is there a way to make it work with the existing diagonal, so you could do something like that, have it plug into that? And that the answer was, oh yes. So then it becomes just a smaller piece, and this has same thing. We're tons of narrow wall compatibility. Where did my little narrow wall go here? All right, so it lets you put a window or a door or a solid, what do you want in there? And then once we opened up, where did that other one go? This one. So once we opened up the sides to this diagonal, to like this still worked, but there was some weird kind of gaps here. I was like, well, if you fill those gaps with a flange, something like that, now the piece sits. It feels like cohesive when it's there. It feels like one solid thing, as well as it's not just supported by a single biscuit. It actually has, these are holding it now, pressure fit, hanging off. But best of all, you take this same thing and put it in any regular wall, and now you can have a cool, like, it's either an overhang or it's a little entry area thing, or another interesting breaking the box possibility for any regular wall or playing nicely with the diagonal walls. And then this plays nicely with with the scaffold system. If you have the narrow one, you can stick that out and have like a thing out, or like a hanging rope bridge thing. You could do something like that and have it open going to the next bit or whatnot. So should open up a bunch of fun possibilities. So we also have
what do you do roof wise for that?
I'm working on it. It's gonna need a weirdo specialty. Yeah, this roof geometry is just an absolute nightmare. But we're working on it. I've just literally, was this Tuesday or Monday, figured out, like, got to this iteration. So once I got the base geometry, because I was messing with, we're we're trying to do a way is like, oh, could you do a second story? Could you just do it with one piece that then becomes a thing that then you could also use to build more towers upward? But then how do you get down? It was like it's getting complicated. But anyway, so we got to this, and now trying to figure out, getting to the roof is going to be the next thing. But it plays with this and or with just two straights in a way that it'll take one piece. But we'll get there. It's an adventure in geometry. But it'll have some sort of neat specialty little conical thing. Maybe that's a chance to do it around roof, right? Although it'll probably be a hexagonal. I don't know. It'll be neat though. Whatever it is. Then the other where is it going? The other kind of non sort of breakity box piece is a sort of bay window situation like this, and the idea is it's ever so slightly, it's 3.25 inches wide, so it overlaps just a tiny bit on either side, but it doesn't go all the way to the edge, so it breaks the box nice way. It'll probably have some windows over there, and it'll slot a narrow wall in there, so you can make this an entryway or a window, whatever. It makes a nice second story overhang, like our overhang in the Tudor. Yeah, so you could do that sort of a situation. I can't really, although I probably wouldn't have a door. Let's turn that on. As well as that would want it wants like some sort of little roof situation, which can do something like, let's switch to something like this. So you could have that becomes an entry area. I don't know why there's a door on the second floor. Becomes an entry area, just whatever. But you could also the roof is going to have a couple of biscuit holes on it, so you could do a thing where the floors will have the biscuit holes there, so you could biscuit it to second floor without a bay window and have like have an awning sort of thing for your shop or your nice courtyard door or whatever. And then it also, we're harkening back to those balconies from the original cities. We have sort of our new version of those are going to have the same footprint as this, so you can do first floor. Where am I? You can do first floor bay window and then roofed onto a balcony. That one of my big complaints about our original balconies is that you can't put, like, they're just a wide open hole into the side of the house. Like there's no way to have a door, right? It's just open air, right? So there's no way to have a door. So this way, with this thing, you could just do the same wide open thing if you want, or you can pop a door in there, so you can actually have a door out to your balcony. And the idea is it's the same footprint, so you can stack them up. Like you could use the roof above it on another story, so you can roof it up. And the front, it takes it has a biscuit hole there, and it takes the 2-inch railing. We didn't look at the scaffold system, but it takes the 2-inch railing from the scaffold system on there, and then can fit. You could run it as once again another second story walkway. Tons of ways to connect buildings up on a second story, third story, or whatever. Elevated nonsense should be the name of this Kickstarter. Right? Options for elevated nonsense, as well as some pole accessory holes up there, so you can put your gargoyles or your crossbows or your looking glass or whatnot on there. In addition, if you're doing, where do I have my batteries? Right. Let's say you're doing some sort of interior mezzanine situation where you have let's say I have to use your imagination here, but I don't know what my other 2x1 is, so I'll use this guy. Right, so if you have like an interior balcony thing going on where there's a balcony up here, you can use this, because it's 3¼ inches, it'll be able to sit up here against a interior wall. So you can use it as a balcony on your mezzanine level too. Something like, so you can have a nice sort of irregular mezzanine action. We have a bunch of interior mezzanine options using the scaffolding system also. So this is basically an extension of the scaffolding system, as well as an anchor for the scaffolding system, as well as a balcony, as well as a exterior connector for whatnot. I think those are all the basic break in the box bits. Anybody?
Is there any reason for the bay window to not also slot into the peg holes?
Not slot into the peg holes.
The way that one piece did, where like it, well, not peg holes, the posts. I mean.
Well, because then you can't put a wall in there.
Right.
That's the big reason. Yeah. And this guy is going to do it. This guy is going to do it also. So that's already kind of using that gag. This lets you put something behind it if you want. You could make a really tight little entry area, or make it use it as a closet, or whatever. But it lets you, by having this in the balcony have the same footprint, then they played together in one long vertical thing, as well as not, it doesn't tie up that slot, so you can put something else in there. That was the main driver.
Nice.
It's a good question. Any questions?
How will that balcony hold pegs or magnets? It'd be the biscuit system, yeah.
Double biscuits. So there's there'll be 2 biscuits in the back, so it'll clamp. It'll double biscuit to the side of your. If this was your floor, it would go onto those double biscuits. Yeah, messed around with. We had one at one point that was clipping into the outside of the corner posts, but it was filling too much of the outside. Like it was becoming too much. It was getting boxy again, right? So it was key. That was like Michelle's first thought, which she said was just like, you're not breaking the box anymore. Like that was the whole, the whole point of this was to try and break the square, and it was getting filling all the way up to the edge of the square.
And people are wondering if we're going to be doing floor cutout pieces that you can build these off the box shapes in line with the sidewalks and stuff.
There will be a we're gonna have a corner fill for the diagonal, and I think that's it currently. And with the theory being, because we talked about this a bunch, and it was, the challenge was it becomes an enormous amount of weird backfill pieces. Also, depending on how many textures do you want to do? Do you want to do grass? Do you want to do cobblestones? Do you want to do sidewalks? Do you want to do flagstones? How many different types of materials are you backfilling? / how many different shapes? There's a lot of shapes. So the thought was, for the really basic ones, the diagonals, we would do a backfill that would fill them out if you're building inline. And then if you wanted to do this like parapet thing on ground level, you would build that house on top of the sculpted ground. So you could build the rest of, if you're building inline with stuff, you could build a bunch of your buildings inline, and then this one building is sitting on top of the sidewalks or the cobblestones or whatever, rather than inline, which is a totally viable. Also gives you a nice little variety in terms of like the heights and and lets you cock it askew a little bit or whatnot. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
If you're doing some of these weird shapes, you'd build those on top. You could do, if you wanted to build stuff in line, you could do that, but it lets you'd have to mix and match.
Yeah, because I think the main issue with trying to make a fill piece for every single one of those shapes is like that piece would only be useful when you wanted to put like that wall in. And
it's a bazillion, and like just this thing, you'd need a different fill if you're using it diagonally than you would if you're using it straight. and it like slash multiplied times the number of different materials that you want to be filling, and it was really a mess. But wait, let me get some. Try to get some streets. Where are those? Hold on a sec.
Are we going to be breaking the box in all 4 styles?
No, we'll see. We're definitely doing it in the new styles, but we're not sure how many of these are going to make it to the old pieces, because it's, once again, piece count just grows. The idea is you can take, there's nothing wrong with building on top of the sidewalks, right? Like, actually looks really nice, right? And we're gonna have a little step up for people who are building on top. We'll have a couple little step options, whatever, so you get a nice little step to get boop boop if you're going into the door there. Something like.
Do you have any plans for larger floors, like an 8x8?
Not currently. Right, so you could do something like that. No, we're topping out at 4x4 currently, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, that looks kind of neat. Wait, can this rise? It's those big pieces are, having just done a ton of big pieces in Wildlands. We're like big piece shy right now. It looks nice on the with the mosaic piece, like wrapping around it. It's pleasing.
Is this Kickstarter going to have individual buy orders for each one of these wall structures? It won't be a la carte, but the goal with this Kickstarter is to basically break things down into the add-on packs that are very cleanly like the pieces to do this job, like etc., so that you can customize like what you want out of it as much as possible.
Tyler's been working really hard at building logical packs that are going to hopefully let you get the pieces that you're interested in. We're trying to have really focused packs that very similar to Wildlands, where every piece is going to, like, we're not going to have chase pieces hidden in like $300 packs where everything will be, conceptually, we haven't actually built them all yet, but the goal is to have everything available in a pack that's less than $100.
So the add-ons formulated to build something specific, or like fulfill the purpose of like style. So it'll probably be like. Do you think we'll go like the extent of like a cottage pack, or do you think it'll be like a walls pack, a roofs pack?
It's walls pack. Walls and corner posts will be together in packs. Floors will be their own packs. Because like you could get, like, maybe you want to just use your existing wood floors. You don't want any of the new wood floors. You're like, I have enough wood floors already with my tutor. And you just want to get the wood walls, so you can buy a bunch of the wood wall and post packs and use your existing floor packs. Or maybe you want to get the fancy wood floors and the rustic wood floors, but only one set of wood walls, because you have a bunch of tutor walls. You're going to use your tutor walls on the fancy ones. Or maybe you like the fancy stone floors. I don't know. So we're kind of breaking them into walls and corner posts are in packs, floors are in packs. The scaffolding system will be in a couple of packs that sort of based on how types of building, different types of building. Roofs there'll be sort of like a basic roofs pack, and we kind of an advanced one that has more of the like the shed or the shed will be its own pack, and I don't know. We're sort of breaking them into logical how you would build with them.
Because then the goal is like, because before we would make our pledge levels around like encounters or like certain like builds basically. And so what we would do here is we would still have those options available for you to pick from, but they would be made entirely up of those existing add-on packs. Yeah. So we don't have weird mold configurations. We don't have weird like piece counts where it's like, well, since there's one griffin in like the bakery, which is a weird place for a griffin to be, I'm freeballing. Or freestyling.
You're freeballing.
It's been a long day. It's we
spitballing.
The whole idea is for this to be made up of a bunch of packs that we can then just like move into the store.
We're gonna make pledges.
We're
gonna make pledges out of base packs, which is something I tried in Wildlands. I couldn't get packs that would work best. No, it was that's what we're gonna have a bunch of packs and then combine those packs into pledges that make sense. But you'll be able to a la carte out of the packs that you're excited about. Not a la carte, like you choose the packs that you want. You don't necessarily have to get the pledges. You can just go for packs if you want. If you're free balling.
Yeah.
Like that Tom Petty song.
Yeah.
So
hey, here's a question. Please ask if they've considered a battle board with a matching sidewalk pattern to allow for cheap, fast underbuilding coverage.
1,000% have.
Yes.
We've got some. We're looking at a bunch of neat surface layer options for you. If you don't want sculpted sidewalks or sculpted cobblestone or sculpted grass, like if you just want to I want to throw down battle boards or train trays, whatever, or a mat, whatever, we're gonna have some options for some quick coverage so you can focus. Because a lot of people, you don't want to spend $500 just putting down sidewalks. You want to spend that on all the cool buildings and the catwalks and the docks and all the fun stuff, the seawalls. Oh, you didn't look at any of the one. Another episode. You can focus on the vertical and just get a good coverage quickly.
Yeah, if you're wanting to like build like all these buildings like on top, like it is so much more cost effective to put them on a battle board than on like a ton of sidewalk like sculpted pieces.
These are facts.
But yeah. A plain dirt battle board would be good too.
Yep.
Well, you could take the dirt terrain tray and you slap it on the magnet side of the battle board to elevate it up and put it up there.
We're going to have a bunch of options to give you some ground coverage so you can have a bunch of, a nice clean slate to throw some stuff down and play. It's really, I think we have some I'm very excited what we have planned. I want to see if we can pull it off before we talk about it too much, but we have some fun. Everything's fun tonight. Fun and aggressive. Aggressive fun. It's a night of aggressive fun.
Can we get a curio building that just so happens to have all the reliquaries toppers in it?
That would be amazing.
All the artifacts. Let's see. I'm assuming the building floors will have anchor magnets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna throw some anchor magnets in there, and we'll have anchor magnets obviously in like the cobblestones and whatnot.
Let's see. Any other questions?
I guess another question is what, when we're covering these city episodes, is there other stuff? Is there ways we can give you more information better? We're going to do this at least once a month.
Any texture mats planned?
Maybe, if we can get the right texture. We're working on some stuff. Yes, we will tell you all about it once we actually have some proof of concept.
Will the 1-inch rise pieces and scaffolding work to make a city of canals on a water terrain tray?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the thing is like we're looking at it, it's like, oh, we can do like canals.
Yes. You throw down like.
Oh yeah, we didn't really go over that system today, did we?
No, we didn't.
We have so many systems in this Kickstarter, Nate.
That's the goal. That's the city of systems. Stuff like this, where you can.
It's like, yeah, aside from that, we didn't even talk about like the 1-inch elevation system.
Yep. No 1-inch rise. We didn't look at scaffolding. We didn't look at, there's plenty more to dig into, because we have some months to go.
We have questions about pricing. One is wondering about the all-in pledge, if we're gonna have it around the same as the all-in for Wildlands.
We don't have any price. We have zero prices. I don't even know.
What we can tell you is that we're trying to keep it down. As we're working through the paint schemes, we're trying to go with paint schemes that are not going to drive the prices up a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. The paint
pricing on Wildlands with stuff. I mean, it was, there's like some 16.
It's the reality of trying to do that environment well.
Yeah.
But here it's.
I think it's a safe. It's probably a safe guess to say that the high end will be around Wildlands Untamed, but I have no idea yet because we don't have a single price on a single piece yet.
It's also such a harder thing to figure out too, because it's what do you consider all in to be with this system?
A massive city.
Right, but with Wildlands, it was cool. You take the 3 mega pledges, but with this different pledge structure, it's you just pick one of each of the hero buildings. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, it's all the big. It's gonna be all the cool buildings in all the different biomes in one big thing, and it'll be the mega city. It's been nuts.
How about a Jade-style temple district?
You're
That's
fired.
a good idea.
Out
Why haven't we done that?
No, but we can't we did talk about we talked about white marble, trying to figure out white marble in the fancy stone. Is there a way to do some white marble in there? So if you have your white marble dungeon stuff, you can play something well with that or whatnot. But we will see. Whether we're not gonna have Jade. I didn't show it.
Most important question: how long is it going to take the team to decide on an official name for the Kickstarter? Honestly, we very well might end up pushing the Kickstarter back just because everything's ready. We just don't have a name.
But the problem is we need to figure it out sooner as opposed to later because we need to make, we need to make postcards and stuff for Gen Con, and we have to we got to figure it out, but we don't have it figured out yet.
Where's the last minute sci-fi set from the last Kickstarter's final minutes? It's in development.
Yeah.
We're doing, is it one meeting?
Sci-Fridays. In fact, we bumped, it's supposed to be the last Friday of every month is our Devaney. We bumped last month. I was on spring break on whatever last week, so we're going to do next Sci-Friday is this Friday.
Yeah. And so that's we're not sculpting yet on it until we finish everything for Cities 2, but we've been developing and kicking ideas around and figuring out what the set's going to be, so then we can just jump into it when it's time.
The dream is that the Sculpt team is going to be done before we launch Cities 2, and we'll just be in sci-fi, sculpting sci-fi, while we're doing Cities 2, and then I don't know what vehicle it's going to take it. I don't know if it's going to be a Kickstarter or straight to web store, or we try Indiegogo, or I don't know. It'll be a pre-order thing.
Not doing it. We go on GoFundMe.
We're doing.
Help us make this set.
Yeah. It'll be a Patreon exclusive. I don't know. We'll figure out.
You subscribe to Patreon tier to get this piece.
Ko-fi thing. I don't know. We'll see what it is, but we are working on it. We have not forgotten it.
What about the D&D game that Nate and Stefan were going to do? I think that's still the pandemic's been.
Oh man,
haven't felt safe.
These are facts.
Yeah.
Gen Con? No, I can't do
anything.
Because
we said it was going to be in person, right? Not a remote game. Yeah. Yeah, we did not think it was going to last as long as this has lasted.
Turns out nobody knew.
Ooh. Finley says, what about districts and dwellings?
It's not bad. D&D, it's an acronym. I could get behind that.
I kind of want to get something with elevation in it. Not the word elevation, but the idea.
Yeah, like the super high city, man.
Wards and Widows Walks.
We didn't even look at the Widow's Walk. Yeah, we get there.
We did. Oh, yeah, we have a Widow's Walk system. I think it was David Moffat said it earlier. He was like, oh, you can do a Widow's Walk. It's yeah, we thought of that.
We have it with scaffolding. Yeah. We'll be able to do it. We'll look at that in the next one.
There is too much for us to
cover. We'll have some sculpts to show too on that, so it'll be good. We should wrap it up because it's 9 o'clock.
Heights and Havens. Ooh, Heights and Hovels. What about that?
Heights and Hovels.
Because it'd also be fun to get the whole we've got High Town and Low Town. We've got the rundown buildings, the dockside bars, and then we've got the Mages Guild and the nobles' estates and stuff like that.
That's fun, and also has elevation.
Yeah. Or maybe heights would be the second word. Heights kind of feels like a good second word if you're doing a blank and blank.
Yeah.
Or just the blank heights is just a really common
Yep.
environment name. Shanties and spires.
Ooh.
Hovels, havens, and heights. Hovels and homesteads.
What was the one? It was dwellings and districts and
Oh,
dwellings.
districts and dwellings, yeah.
It's fun. Well, I
That
like
was a
to
fun
keep these
way.
coming. Email them to ota@dwarvenforge.com. Throw them on Discord. Let's get a name for this
Naming
thing.
the individual biomes is going to be super easy. It's just figuring out what to call the Kickstarter as a whole.
Well, it's Hightown and Lowtown. I don't think we can top. It's just figuring out the name of the damn Kickstarter itself.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
we should
we should also. Oh God, I had something. We should maybe next month. We should figure out what our living in Nexus is going to be for this. What our fans suggested, sculpt or something. If we want to do something like that.
Yes. Well, the key is I shouldn't get carried away, so we can
Yes.
start. Don't make a thing that's 10 inches by 10 inches bigger than my head. Yeah.
It sounds like what everybody wants is for us to do like a big dome roof or a spire roof or just basically a different kind of roof. Yeah, all the suggestions that are coming in now are just all roofs.
Well, yeah, I don't remember. I attributed it to Hamster, but I don't know. Somebody in dev team said one of their means. They're like, the first thing you see when you look at a city is the roofs. Like it's at the highest level. It's on the top of the thing. Like so the roofs become a big focal point. So
being able to put one of those Eastern European like colorful like bulb
big onion dome
spires on top of an ashlar building would be so sick.
Would be cool.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah, Stefan's been dreaming of a onion dome forever. We will see. We have a slot for a specialty roof. We'll see what happens. It's on the. Yes. All right. Let's get the heck out of here. Thank you. Thank you everybody for tuning in, hanging out. Does it work better on this side of the room? Was this a? I feel like I like the this camera arm is a little easier on my end.
I don't know if it made a difference to anybody. Okay. So like whatever works best for you. Like.
Yeah, we used to be over there. Now we're over here. We're like.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can do that. Crab Battle. By the way,
Woo!
I whispered you on Twitter to get your email for the gift card. Just make sure to whisper me back. I think you're actually on the Discord too. You can hit me up there. Just want to get your email so we can get you the gift card. Yeah, people miss the technical difficulties.
Oh yeah, this is the show we have no technical difficulties. We got it.
It's actually going to become that, and then it's going to be
not. We hit that point. All right, thanks for hanging out. Tomorrow, hamster battle. Hobby hang tomorrow.
Tomorrow, hamster battle. Hamster's hobby. Yeah, we're gonna be painting stuff that we got at Adepticon, and probably just talking a lot about Adepticon. So if you want to know more about our trip, literally the three of us that went there are on those streams.
Fun times.
I'll probably be painting up some Freeblade stuff. That or Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
I don't know.
And then we'll be back next week with who knows what the topic will be. But we doing something.
I don't know at this point. I'm still catching up.
Maybe I'll do that piece. I'll mock. I've been sort of saving a piece that it would seem like an easy, something I could actually accomplish on air.
Just do a mocking stream.
Yeah. You see, playing with foam. Anyway,
okay.
This is my favorite part of your rickety.
People are down for us doing anything. Honestly, we could. If we just did a podcast where we just sat in chairs and talked, I think they'd be down for it.
That'd be boring. Gotta see some. There's got to be something to look at.
We need to start a Dwarven Forge podcast.
Yeah, in all our free time. Well, thank you. We'll see you at the Hobby Hang tomorrow. See you for On the Anvil next week, and hopefully we'll see you at Gen Con in a few months and a Kickstarter in a few months after that. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Good night. How do I stop?